Yo guys, first video, yay! Or on YouTube at least. Real note, let's get to the whole talking stuff, I feel like the search for love in itself is meant to be a difficult process, right? Like, I feel like looking for love isn't something that should be inherently easy. I feel like it shouldn't be something you can just do on a whim and find the one, But I feel like, especially in this day and age, it's much too difficult to find it in the first place, right? Because there's so many different ways that you can portray and show yourself nowadays and who you are. And so many different ways that you can present yourself and just be who you are. So there's so much more that people know about you, yet there's still so little that you know about other people. Because regardless of what I post on social media, regardless of what I post on TikTok, people aren't really going to know me until they've actually met me and become close to me. And I feel like just that alone makes love itself harder to find, right? Because we see so much of other people on social media, and it's so easy to find things about other people that we're not getting to know them ourselves by talking to them. We're getting to know them by going through their Instagram or TikTok or something, and it's just objectively way too hard of a process to do. And I feel social media has made looks matter so much more recently, because the standard of beauty societally has been pressed so much harder on people who are younger. And it makes anyone who's not, the greatest looking guy struggle to find anything real with anybody because of how much more looks matter now. It's also so much easier to be perceived as not good looking if you don't fit the norms. Because there's no one nowadays that's even unconventionally attractive. You are either conventionally attractive or you're just ugly. And I feel that's something that shouldn't be a thing, right? Like, I feel the case should be everything's attractive to someone, right? But it's not like that anymore. There's genuine norms and standards and everything to beauty now, and it's made it so much harder to find love. And one of the greatest and most prevalent examples of this is height in men, right? Previous years, a man's height, especially in dating, wasn't really that big of an issue. But with the rise of social media, it's made it so much harder for anyone who isn't 6 foot and above to find a partner and not be ridiculed for their height. And I say this as a dude who isn't super tall myself. I'm pretty short, actually. It's made it more difficult for me to find a partner that might actually care about me, purely based off of how tall I am, which I find disgusting. Because my height shouldn't dictate the type of person I am or whether or not I deserve love. It's crazy. But the issue is that it does. My height and my looks dictate whether or not I'm a good person or if I'm attractive to anybody. And the fact that I'm not tall makes it much harder for me to be attractive to someone. It doesn't matter how my face looks. It doesn't matter how kind I am. It doesn't matter who I am. I'm short, therefore less deserving of love and less human in some people's eyes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with not being physically attracted to certain things. But it's the fact that a lot of things people are attracted to now are things they've just been told to be attracted to, right? Like, on social media, a lot of the time, the things you're seeing are guys are only attracted to girls shorter than them, girls are only attracted to guys that are taller, and that's majority of what you see online. So that's kind of what, types people adopt. And you see this a lot more in women, adopting their types in men off of social media. I have not seen a woman in a while that has genuinely just gone up and talked to a guy and liked him, been attracted to him, not purely based off of his looks. And this isn't me saying you have to be attracted to every guy you meet. It's fine if you're not. But, judging someone in how attractive they are purely based off of their looks is just not going to go well ever. Because I can date someone who's an absolute bombshell, right? A dime and a half. But if she's a terrible person, it's not going to work out well for me, and it's just going to make me a worse person in the end. And regardless of how much I convince myself it's okay because she looks good, it's never going to be, and I'm always going to come out worse on the other side of that relationship. It's just not good, and it's a cycle that continues as more people get on social media and follow societal norms. Because as you go through day-to-day life, you'll see a lot of the things people post on social media just aren't true. Because I see plenty of gorgeous women outside that are taller than me. But, I see on social media every day guys saying they would never date a girl taller than them. And it's crazy to me, because I find women taller than me super attractive. And there's women out there that find men shorter than them attractive. There's not many, but there are. And I just feel like the pressure that looks have on relationships should not be that bad. Like, I feel like people should date more for people they actually care about and who might actually care about them. Because when you date somebody purely for looks, you don't like that person. You find that person physically attractive. Yes, you like how that person looks, but you don't actually like the person. You like what they look like. You like looking at them. But, they're more than likely going to be a terrible person if you date them purely based off of looks, because that means they don't have enough of a personality to like. And yes, I will admit, being physically attracted to somebody is a big thing. I wouldn't date someone I'm not at all physically attracted to, but I'm not going to date someone purely because I'm physically attracted to them. I need to actually be able to connect and feel who I'm with, and I need to know the person they are before I date them, because I'm not going to date some horrible person that's just a dick. It just doesn't fit my philosophies and what I stand for. And the more that I think, and the more that I see attractive people just being bad people and still finding love, it makes me think that regardless of, how I act or what I do, I'm not going to be attractive in majority of people's eyes because of my looks, right? Not to say I'm necessarily unattractive looks-wise, it's purely based off of the big factor, my height. That is one of the biggest factors, and to me, one of the least important when I'm dating somebody. Because when I'm dating someone, I look at their face first. I don't even think about their height. I've talked to plenty of girls taller than me, mostly because I'm average height, and, well, not anymore. I'm short now, but a year ago I would have been average height. But when I talk to a girl taller than me, I don't think about that. I don't think about the fact that they're taller, but it seems like everyone else I talk to immediately thinks about someone's height before they date them. Sorry, I've been rambling about height for way too long. That's my fault. But really, if you're dating someone and you can't connect with them mentally and emotionally, then there's no way you genuinely like that person. There's no way you actually want to be in a relationship with that person. You want to be seen with them. That's it. You purely want to date someone for appearances, and there is something wrong with that. Because there's so many genuinely amazing people, amazing men and women, that don't have partners purely because they're slightly less attractive than somebody else that's an absolute asshole. And that fact alone makes the world worse, because these people, these amazing people, I'm sure, that date absolute assholes based off of their looks, makes them a worse person. And the cycle continues, and it just starts to ruin people's lives and perceptions of themselves purely based off of their looks. And while the search for love really shouldn't be easy, and it shouldn't be boiled down to just looks and personality, because there's so many other factors that do actually go into finding love, I also at the same time feel that the search for love is too difficult, because there are so many different factors that these smaller factors that are still so important get pushed to the side, and personality and looks dominate them, which just makes everyone turn into the same person personality-wise, and it makes it so hard to differentiate from anybody other than looks. Which I personally feel is why looks have become such an important part of literally everything nowadays, is because everyone's personalities kind of become the same as trends go on and other things happen. We're not our own people anymore, but we need to be. Being your own person is exactly why you're born. There's only one of you. You are literally 1 in 8 billion, and so few people take advantage of that. But I don't understand why. So if you're gonna search for love, do it as yourself. Don't do it as a personality you saw online. Search for someone you are attracted to, and that is attracted to who you are, not the personality you want everybody else to see you as. Also, before you start your search for love, you need to learn to love yourself. Because the first person you should love in any relationship is you. You should always come first in your own mind, other than if you have a child, obviously. But love yourself first before you love anybody else. Anyway, guys, peace out. Follow, subscribe for more, blah, blah, blah. See you later.